there, friends. It's the Sunday morning spread from Cards of Light, Bright Blessings of the Tarot for November 20th, 2022. Brian Noe with you once again this week. Thank you for joining me for our four-card energy reading where we will look at the four dimensions of life. Let's give these cards just another quick run through. Make sure we've got a good random draw. Let's take a moment to breathe, a little energy into the cards. Quiet down our minds just a little bit before we begin. Okay. Four cards, four dimensions of life, beginning with the spiritual dimension. And we have the Seven of Swords. Social emotional. We have the Eight of Cups. Mental. We have the Five of Discs. This is not looking pretty. And in the physical dimension, we have the Princess of Swords. Okay. Line these up a little bit. I really do need to just bring a ruler or something along. All right. So we have one court card and three pip cards this time around. And we do not have the suit of wands represented, but we have all of the other three suits. Really, really interesting energy in this spread. Well, let's start over here with this princess. So swords, the suit of the mind, and the princess is kind of the lowest rank. This would be the one that would be pages in other decks, or at least most other decks. So they kind of represent naivete or a beginner at something. My keyword for this particular card is the intrepid sleuth. So this is like the young detective that's out on the case. Loves books, loves learning new things, loves exploring, loves solving puzzles, looking for clues, those sorts of things. So in the physical dimension of our lives, which is where this card fell this week, we may have a puzzle to deal with here. I'm getting the sense that this is financial for someone, and that there is something that is maybe a little daunting, but certainly puzzling to be dealt with. But if we take the spirit of this character on this card and apply it to the task, everything's going to turn out well. So look at it as a challenge, as an adventure, and as if you were solving a puzzle of some sort. If you were working a crossword puzzle or something, that satisfaction when you get to the end of it and say, "Hey, yeah, I got it figured out." That's what this can be if you treat it that way. It shouldn't be any kind of setback or anything like that. I am getting a real strong impression that it's financial, and it's something that's just going to, kind of when it hits, make you go, huh? What's going on here? But it's something that just apply your reasoning and your skill set to, maybe get a little help if you need to. You'll be able to get it squared away, and also learn something cool in the process. This may be applying to other people in other ways in the physical dimension of their lives as well. This could be about health. It could be about finances. It could be about physical environment. May just be a cue to get out and explore. If you haven't been out walking in your neighborhood lately, get out and see what's going on. A little chilly where I live at the moment to do that here in Illinois, but anyway, so for what that's worth. Okay, let's move on over here to the social and emotional dimension of our lives, and we've got this Eight of Cups card, and this is the card of, well, for one thing, it's the card of recovery. Crowley styles it indolence, but as I've said before, I think of it really as being more about just moving on, walking away from something and leaving it undone. I'm getting the feeling that this is some sort of pressure within a family relationship that is disconcerting. And it's like you have a choice between perpetuating an argument or a disagreement or just walking away from it. I think that this is a good cue to walk away. And it may not be family, it may just be friends or acquaintances or something along those lines, or it may be something that is having an impact on the emotional health and well-being. The tighter we grip things sometimes, the worse it gets, and the more that they stick to us when we don't want them to. And so sometimes you just have to just say, hey, I'm not doing this anymore, and leave it be. It doesn't mean that you have to leave things undone forever. But right now the energy is, hey, let's leave this alone and pick it up again later or not. That's the way I'm seeing this one. Okay, we've got the Five of Discs up here in the mental dimension. And this card represents transitions in our lives. It represents, so fives are the cards where energy starts to break up a little bit. We have the stability of the fours and we get to the fives, and the energy starts to become less organized and diffuse. And so and discs being the cards of the earth, the cards of physical reality, and the cards of finances and all of that kind of stuff. This card can symbolize either a setback or a transition of some sort, or bad luck of some sort financially. But Crowley styles it worry, and I think that really gets to the heart of it. It is when something comes along that is unsettling to us, and we haven't figured out quite how to deal with it yet. And so it leads to worry. It can lead to depression. Sometimes crying over spilled milk would be another way to look at the energy of this card. It's interesting coming along with this one where we are maybe potentially solving a puzzle or a problem, and in this one where we're just kind of obsessing over it and being stuck because something new has hit us that we don't know how to deal with, some kind of new challenge or new issue. So, and coming up here in the mental dimension, that sort of signals that this is really more about our way of looking at things than maybe it is about the reality of it. And so keep things in perspective. Look at things as challenges to be reckoned with and dealt with and solved. And don't spend time, or at least inordinate amounts of time after you process things. Don't spend a lot of time glum, down in the dumps, worried, frightened. Just let's roll up our sleeves and work the problem. I know that is easier to say than it is to do. So, Seven of Swords. This one turned up recently when we were using the Rider Smith Waite deck. This Crowley styles it futility, but I think of it as deception and somebody trying to pull a fast one. And I believe that when it came up last time, it was also in this quadrant up here that represents the spiritual dimension of our lives. Look, somebody is fooling themselves here. It's a very strong impression that this is self-deception, and we're not going to be able to move forward. We're not going to be able to lift our consciousness up to the next level until we face the truth here, face what's really going on. The only way that I know to get to that is to do some sort of daily spiritual practice. And it can be a practice that fits best for your temperament and your outlook on things and all of the other things that make us individuals. But it needs to be a committed daily practice of some sort. I think when this came up before, I mentioned meditation again as a good way to get in touch with what is real, to get some perspective on things, and to help us see things as they are. But any sort of a daily, day in, day out commitment to trying to better understand ourselves, better understand the world, better understand the truth about our natures and the nature of the world and the lives that we lead would be a good thing to do. I'm getting the sense here that maybe it would be helpful to have an outside perspective. So I don't know if that is a counselor or if that is just a trusted friend, someone in the clergy that we need to be talking to here to get past this deception that's going on. But certainly something that we'll have to keep coming back to again and again if we don't get it done now. So I think that about does it. This is not a particularly happy, pretty spread for Sunday morning this week, but I hope the information is helpful, at least to someone. Wanted to quickly mention again, coming up December 2nd at Rubber Rose Books and Print, downtown Kankakee, we're going to have a class 7 p.m. that evening for beginners with the tarot. Registration is very reasonable, $10. We will have some of these decks on hand. If anybody needs a tarot deck and wants to pick one up, we'll have some of those available that evening. Otherwise, if you've got your own deck, you can bring it, or you don't need to necessarily bring anything with you. Would like you to pre-register if you could, and the registration link is on the weblog at brightblessingstarot.com. I think it'll be up in the navigation, top navigation menu. So we'll have fun that night, though, and looking forward to it. Anything about this spread, about this practice, anything else you want to get in touch about, please do visit the weblog, brightblessingstarot.com. If you want to say something about this particular card spread, you can leave comments here with the video as well. And I think that will do it. So far as I know, even though it will be Thanksgiving Day here in the U.S., I'll be back on Thursday for our 3-card Thursday. And in the meantime, as always, I wish you peace. Hope you have a beautiful week.